All right, welcome, welcome, welcome to Soulful Reset here on Talk Shop Live. I want to thank Talk Shop Live for giving me this opportunity to bring you guys so much great information. You guys, you're watching us, you're going to watch us on Universal Collective Network. You can go over to our YouTube channel, Salita McCall YouTube channel. You're watching us over there. And you can also watch us over on, oops, let's see here. Yeah, Fat and Fabulous is the other one that you can watch us on, right? That is acting crazy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so and then you have us here on Talk Shop Live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, you guys. I'm gonna move my camera this way, just a little bit more this way. As you can see, Miss Lady has on the other wrap dress that I had on, and she's actually got her little shades on and her head kicking, right? So she's ready to go. Well, she's also a great help to me. So, you guys know today we're going to talk about gratitude. I think we've already talked about gratitude before, but we're going to bring it back again because, as you know, this is the end of the year. Well, it's getting close to the end of the year. We're a couple of days away. I'm just going to say a couple of days, even though it's more, but a couple of days away from the end of this year. So I thought we would talk a little bit more about gratitude and being grateful for all the things um, wait. Let me see something here. Oops. What did I do? I think I didn't turn it on. Did I turn it on? Nope, it's not on. Oh, that's not going to help if you guys can't hear me. Okay, let me see here. Um, I forgot to plug up my mic. Totally forgot to plug up the mic. And I don't know. Look, I don't even know if you guys could hear. You probably can hear me, but I don't know. I'm not for sure. But I hope you can hear me now. Okay. Um, but yes. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know. I missed Wednesday because I had so much stuff I was doing Wednesday. I'm in the process of one thing I'm doing. Look. It's the end of the year, and I'm starting to clean out my storage room. Right. So that it could be the most torturous thing to do. Remember, we talked about on here about storage having a lot of things. Well, I have a lot of things. And I'm trying to go through them and I'm trying to get them done. So each day we have a van and we fill the van up and we bring it home. And then I go through the stuff as I take it out the van, or I'll bring it in the house and throw away the stuff that needs to be thrown away and keep the stuff that needs to be kept. You guys, it is not torturous, it's just tedious because you want to make sure you're not throwing away the wrong type of paperwork that you might have to come back up on later on. So I'm like struggling with what I want to throw away and what I don't want to throw away. But it's a good thing because it makes it better for me because now I can still clutter free my life. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too if I can find that one. So I want to definitely concentrate on gratitude. I want to talk about skincare. Here we're going to talk about the wrap dresses. As you know, November is coming to the end, and I'm still looking for some pre-orders for the wrap dress. If you guys had an opportunity, you went on You Can't Clip My Wings and over here on Talk Shop Live and check out the different variations of this dress, the different styles or the designs of the dress. As you see, I'm wearing this one now. She's wearing that one, and I have several other ones that I, from time to time, switch up and wear. I don't have my whole collection. It would be wonderful if I had my whole collection, but I don't have the whole collection yet because it's easy to design them and then order them. So I do want to tell you this: if you go ahead and order the dresses now, there's going to be a slight price change as far as your shipping and handling because of the tariffs. Okay, I got a notification that it's gonna my the shipping is gonna go up a little bit more than normal. because of that. And it's no need to be, I mean, no need to be upset about it. It's going to happen. I mean, it's not our fault. But you have, at the end of the day, you have a beautiful dress that you can wear. Um, and you're going to enjoy, the ideal that this is something that you ordered for yourself. And I got to put my foot massage on. You ordered it for yourself, and it'll tell your own story. Remember that. Remember, these dresses are not just a dress, okay? This is not just a dress, okay? It is your story. What made you order it? What is it about that dress that makes you feel good? When I put them on, I feel good. Hey, Miss Latasha. When I wear them, I feel good. I feel like, wow, it's something I designed, right? So I feel good when I put my dress on, and when I wear it out, I feel good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As you know, like I said earlier, we're talking about gratitude. We're going to talk about the question I want to ask you guys is this is the time for reflection, right? So the question I would like to ask you is, what are you grateful for and why? It can be many things. It could be one or two things. It doesn't matter. What are you grateful for? What makes you um, smile? What makes your day? Okay. What what have you done in these last 11 months, because we're in the 11th month now, in the last 10 months, that you're proud of? What changes have you made? Um, and how did those changes come about? Was it something that you were grateful for that created this change in you? And I'm talking positive change, I'm not talking negative change. Um, Something inside you, like, okay, you know what? This is the things I need to be grateful for. So I'm going to put some action behind them, right? So tell me, what have you done this year that you're grateful for, and why? Why are you grateful for that thing? It's something to think about. We're going to talk about the prompts. I have my journal prompts. We did some, I think, already, but we're going to do some more. Um, I think it's going to be very interesting to do these. Also, if you want a copy of an ebook, excuse me, an ebook journal, a digital download journal, you can go ahead and go to youcan'tclipmywings.com in the shop rituals, and it is in there that you can order one of our books. Now, I'm thinking I gotta go back and check, you guys. Can't do it while I'm on air, but I need to check the prices because I think I'm going to reduce the prices of all our ebooks when it comes to the journals. Because the journals, we have two of them on there that's $9.99, and then we have the other ones that's $7.99. But I think I'm going to do a slash in those. We also have a couple of coloring books on there, adult coloring books on there too. And I think I might just go ahead and slash the price down on those. Now, I also want to tell you real quick before we get deep into this, that we have a legacy activation ritual webinar that we're doing on the 1st of December. Now, keep in mind, if you did not receive an email from me, you will receive an email for our January webinar. I want to keep the webinar very intimate. So I am not sending it to everybody. It's not that I'm trying to include anybody. I just want these webinars because I want people to open up. And to me, that's very important, especially when we're trying to help each other. So I definitely want to keep it small, the group small. I'm proud of me and how I handle life situations this year. Grateful for the life and every great, great, wonderful. I love that, Miss Dixon. I love that. I love it. Definitely. Um, so yeah, so we have that coming up. Um, Miss Dixon, did you get a chance to reply? Did you register for the webinar yet. Let me know if you already registered for the webinar. Everybody that I sent an email to, let me know you got the email, and then whether or not you signed up. I can tell if you signed up because it'll tell me. I'm just letting you know. Look, I'm just letting you know. I know if you signed up or not. So I'm just asking. But I sent out 13 I sent out 13, I think it was 13 emails. I should get half of those back. If I sent out 13, 6.5 people should be part of my webinar. I'm good with that. I'm not a greedy person. If all 13 of you guys show up, that would be wonderful. But if you don't, that's fine. And look, I told you guys before, I did a webinar and nobody showed up. So I'll still do the webinar and I'll play the replay on it. Okay, definitely. So it doesn't bother me, but it will bother me if I've taken my time out to do this. But the first one, I did not get upset about it. I just know this is the way things go. When you're in business, if you don't sell anything, it's all right. Okay, thank you. Um, if in this, see, this is what the difference is between having a job that pays and building a business or building a legacy or building an empire. Things are never going to, they make it sound like, you know, businesses always try to make, because they have to do that. They make it sound like, oh my God, I got sales coming all over the place. Look at all these sales. Look at it. Reality is, y'all, if you work in it and you don't have anybody else helping you, it is a whole different ball game. If you have people who are ready to work with you and make sure things get done, and be there to help promote your products and help you with your marketing, that's a whole different ball game. You're going to get a whole different result, right? Well, I don't have anybody to help promote actually, all the time that I've done the different businesses I've actually done all the promotings myself. Literally, I did a lot of them myself. And word of mouth, okay? I know that's the old-fashioned way, but it still works. Word of mouth got me a lot of sales on other businesses I did, letting people know. And I'm very, very particular about my feedback. I want to make sure that I satisfy my customer. And I want to make sure, and I get that. And I don't want nobody to tell me that because I'm your friend, or I don't want anybody that I sold something to because I was just nice to you at that time. I want you to be open and honest about everything. You know, whether you like the product, whether you didn't, what is it about it? Is it complicated? You know, I want to know everything about that product. Okay. Because I know I have to work on it. If it's not the way it's supposed to be, I need to work on how I can fix it. And that's just business. So don't get the impression that, you know, oh my God, she's making all that money. She don't. No, I'm not going to sit here and make and pretend that my sales are dropping out of the sky. They're not. And that's why it's important that I do these different platforms and talk about it. I think I just don't talk about it enough on my regular shows, right? One of my shows, because it's with a nonprofit, I cannot talk about it. I can direct people to it, but I cannot literally sell on it because it's not, I don't want to lose that slot that I'm in. So that's one place I cannot actually literally say bye on that platform. And that's fine. But my other platforms, it's my fault. I should literally be doing sales, like I'm doing little shows all the time. But I don't. Like when I first started out with the swimsuits, right? And they're not, right now, they're not a priority right now as far as my product line goes. But my dresses are right now. But when I was doing shows back to back, I was doing all that. And still sales were slow. Because if you're not your brand is not not a popular brand, but if no one knows that about you, They're not going to be willing to buy, and you have to get yourself out there. You have to make people familiar with you. And sometimes in this internet world, it's kind of hard. It is hard. I did, like I said, I did better before I even came on the internet. I'm serious. I did. I did a lot better before I came on the internet. But that's good because this is how business works. Okay, the business either is going to sell, or it's going to be having some slow times. I understand that the way the economy is right now, everybody's kind of being I don't know right now. I know it'd be a great Christmas gift, but we're not really doing Christmas this year. I get that. I get that because we are in some uncharted waters right now in the economy. um, but I think also on my end as a business person, I mean, I would love to, like, hey, buy it regardless of what you're going through, just buy it. No, that's not. I want you to be careful in how you see it. What is the benefit of you buying it? The idea that this product will last, right? And you don't have to do the recurring of the buying over and over again. I understand all of that in the business. I mean, definitely as a consumer, because I'm a consumer, and I have to be careful with the way I spend my money, you know. So I want you guys to understand I'm not upset if you don't just buy right off the rack. Okay, I get that. All right, I do. But I am going to encourage you and definitely leave that option open for you guys to look. I'm giving you places where you can just order, you know, and once I get your order, I get it out to you. I mean, that's just how it is. And the thing with the bathing suits, right? Um, I had a lot of the bathing suits right here. All I had to do was package them up, just like I do the dresses. Pack. I say in the package you'll get you get some of the you'll get a 1 ounce jar of the cleanser, which is a $35 value. You get my complimentary magazine in there, and then you get an affirmation card in there. And that is a value in itself. Now, and the moisturizer, I'm sorry, I want to take out the cleanser on this one because that is for our webinar. Um, for our for the $59 dress, you will get the affirmation card and the complimentary Star Healthy magazine with that. But the webinar is going to give a little extra treat, which is a 1 ounce jar of the um, cleanser. Okay, the Ebony Elixir cleanser. So, and I don't know why I mentioned that, but yeah, so that's for the people who participate in the webinar. And you have to, that is going to be an offer. It's a bundle. It's going to be an offer for you. Not to say you have to do it, but it is going to be put on the table as an offer to purchase that. And because the webinar is another thing, I'm not trying to force anybody to come to the webinars. I am just saying this is an opportunity for you to see where you're going in your life. People might get so caught up in everything on themselves. I mean, for everybody else, I just want you to be able to come and chill out and talk back and forth. Miss Dixon, I love the idea that you respond to me, then I know you're listening. And I love the ideal that any place I go, you're there and you do talk. And that's what I like because we cannot see, we're not face to face, so sitting down in a group and talking is a whole different ballgame than talking on the internet. The only way I know that you're there and you're actually listening is when you respond in the chat. And I thank you guys for that. And over on UCN, you guys do it all the time. So I get that. I love the idea that you respond to me, especially when we're live. Okay. I'm not pre-recorded. I'm actually live, right? I'm not definitely attending. I'm most okay. Thank you. I thought you said I'm not. Oh, she said I got it. I think okay. Great. So yeah, that's the way I know that you guys are responding or knowing what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying is because you guys talk to me in the chat. I'm excited for the webinar, but I'm also want to talk if you're interested. Okay, another thing, which I've already done these. You guys have no idea. See, this time with me going back and going into storage and picking up stuff and going through stuff, you guys have no idea. I have spent over 20 years giving information and setting up programs and talking about business for over 20 years. I did not realize that. So why I'm saying that is because I know the field has changed a lot, but when you want to start a business, hit me up. If you want a webinar step by step on how to start a business, I know everybody can tell you that. I get it. You guys can go to Chat GPT and get all that information. But there's a difference in having that personal touch on people who've actually gone through it and can tell you the little bit of ins and outs. I don't go deep into it, but I know enough to share because I've helped other people get their stuff together when they were trying to start a business. So I have that. I've done that so many times. And I'm not saying it in a sense to brag. I'm saying it in a sense that I have this information that I can share with you guys if you're interested in starting your own business. Um, I will definitely put together a program for that for you guys, and we can do a webinar. And I only want people who are seriously interested in doing it. And if you have any questions for me, um, definitely ask, and I will definitely help you as much as I can. Um, but we do understand that our competition now is AI, right? Um, but that's all right because, again, it's different from a computer answering you and then you're having that interaction. Matter of fact, I've done several shows on my radio shows in the past of talking about starting your own business. Yeah, on our You Are Loved, which is on Spotify. If you go to You Are Loved on Spotify, okay, you'll see a African American lady with a butterfly. That is my radio, uh my show. It's called You Are Loved. If you go down inside my what's the name, you in our playlist, you will see several episodes talking about starting your own business. Yeah, you will find all that information out. Okay. Hello there, cuz. Yeah. So you will find all that information. That's how long I have been talking about starting your business. That's how long I've been giving out information on that. That's how long I've been going to conferences and different seminars, not only in person, but on the internet that I've done classes with. There's one young lady who's been doing business. Me and her met on Black Planet. That's how long I've been doing this. Okay, and her name is LaShonda Henry, and she has the Sister Sense program, and that's what she does. She teaches people how to make money and how to do businesses. That's how long I have been doing. And if you guys know anything about the Black Planet, that used to be almost like Facebook back in the day for African Americans. That's how long I've been talking about business. I told you guys about my book, Handling Your Business series that I had geared it toward. As a matter of fact, I put that in my Substack. I had geared that toward African American women who I wanted to see them become entrepreneurs. So I literally set up a whole series on that. That's how long I've been doing this, talking about starting a business and helping people with the beginner stage of starting a business. On my blog talk series, all of them, if you go in there, the different business people that I actually interviewed, that helps move you forward in making the decisions. And a lot of that information might be the same, and some of it might have changed now through the years because that's been years ago. But that's how long I've been trying to assist people with starting their own business. And you can get that. Let me say that I am not the only person you can get that information from. I am just telling you that I do have that as an experience, is teaching people how to get their businesses off the ground. I'm good at giving, getting them to stir that brain, stir their ideals around in their heads. You tell me what you want, and I can take it and, okay, so let's try this. Why don't you try this? Tell me what you think about this. See if you can do this. I get excited doing that because I love to see people, like I said, I love to see people win. I love to see people do better than what they're doing if they have an opportunity. I have one young lady I've been working off and on with for years, and she gets discouraged um, a lot. I can't instill in her that the discouragement doesn't have to stay. I can only tell her, why don't you try this, 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 this? And when I'm trying to help you and you tell me, you give me a list of excuses, you really don't want the help. Because if you turn those excuses into questions and maybe I can answer them, it's a different story. Maybe, okay, let's try this. And let me tell you something too. Small business association, if you go on their website, they have all that information. They even have classes you can take to get your certification and learning different things. They're free. If you go on the sba.gov website, all of that information is there. Literally, all that information is there. If you go on irs.gov, all of the information you need is on there. But I know sometimes people don't, sometimes people have they don't comprehend it. They want to do it, but they they can't comprehend some of the things are being said. Well, what I do is I'll break it down for you as much as I can, because I've done that. I've gone to SBA and I've actually talked about SBA on my shows. I've gone to IRS and basically talked about um, how they go through the whole system of getting your business set up, getting you set up. I've actually done nonprofits the same way, how to go after your tax exempt status. I've done all those things, so I can talk about it. So that's what I'm saying. And I hadn't done it in a while, so they might have a little bit more changes that I don't know about because I haven't done it in a minute. But I know how to do that. I'm just saying these are the things that having that knowledge and being able to use those things are very, very important if you want to start your own business. And I am very much so very encouraging us as African Americans to have our own businesses. Because if you look at the job market, no job is guaranteed anymore. No job is guaranteed anymore. But getting up, working for yourself at the hours that you want to work until, once what I learned about being in a business is it's a lot of hard work at the beginning. And as you go on and you keep pushing, eventually, it's just like your regular job. See, people think, well, I don't want to work for nobody because, no, I don't want to work for myself because it's too hard. But you just imagine having a boss you don't like who's very disrespectful to you every day. But you get up every day, you struggle, you get dressed, you get in that traffic, and you go to a job that you literally cannot stand. And you do it every day. I know what it is to work in a toxic environment. It is terrible. It is terrible on your psyche. It's terrible on your emotional. But you have no other choice because they pay the bills, right? So you have to do what you have to do. I'm not knocking anybody who's in that situation. I'm just saying on the side, baby, put something aside. Put something together on the side. Sell something on the side. I'm not talking about no drugs. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm saying find a useful product that you like and you know that other people will like. Always think about it like this. Find a product that will solve a problem. Find a product that will solve a problem or enhance a problem that's already been solved. Let me say that again. Find a service or product that solves a problem, or find a service or product that there's a problem already being solved, but it can be enhanced. Does that make sense to you guys? That's what you do when it comes to starting a business. You can say you like several different things all day long, but what problem does it solve? Think about it. What problem does it solve? And that's what you have to do. You have to think about a problem that needs some type of solution to it. And it's not hard to do it nowadays. And then you think about a product that's already out there and it's working, but it can be enhanced. So I guess you ask the question, what problem does my legacy edition wrap dresses solve? It is not only a dress, it is a movement. It's an empowering tool for women. When you look at the history of a wrap dress, where it came down through the 70s when the feminine movement was going. I'm not a feminist, okay? Let me put that out there. But it was during the feminine movement, and women had to either dress a certain way at home, and she had to dress a certain way when she went to work, when she finally could get into the workforce. Because, for a long time, women could not have their own checkbook, they couldn't do all that. But when they got an opportunity to do that, and Diana von Verstenberg, created the wrap dress. It gave it an opportunity. Not only could you use it at home, wear it at home, guess what you were? You were able to wear it in the boardroom, and you could also wear it out. So look at the problem she solved. She made a product that you can do versatile things with it. That's why I love this product. This is why I love this product, is because I don't only just have to wear it at home, I can wear it anywhere I want to. And the ideal that I created, the designs for the different areas I can wear it in, the different places I can wear it in. I could wear this in a conference. I can take every one of my dresses and go on a weekly conference and have a different dress on every day. I could wear it to dinner. I can go up to my hotel room, pull out a dress, wear one to the conference, and then that evening, if we go to dinner, I can wear another one. All I got to do is change up my jewelry, change up my shoes, and my purse if I need to, right? And if it's cool, put something on my arms. You know what I'm saying? So the versatility of a wrap dress, for me, that's a problem that was solved. And my job, what I decided to do when I thought about doing this, was to put more to it, to add more to it, make it a statement, make it an empowerment statement for us when we wear them. And now you would not believe, when I'm watching a lot of things, that's all I keep seeing is wrap dresses and all the different designs of wrap dresses. Like when you buy a car, right? You see, it's like nobody else had your car until you get it on the road. When you put it on the road, everybody got your car. That's the same thing with these wrap dresses. I am seeing them all over the place now because it's a very versatile dress. So why not bring that out and enhance it by adding my own design? Because that's what I did. I put me on the dress. I put me in the dress. So being able to have that product out there like that is wonderful. I mean, you can't beat it. So that's the reason why I push this dress so much and I promote it. I think it's a great product. Hello, hi Miss Hall. How are you, sweetie? So that's the reason why I do this. And I'm get back to the gratefulness because I went way off sidetrack. Getting back to being grateful for having the ideals and being grateful to help the people that I have helped down through the years. Even to the point that I've helped people with business plans, creating their business plan. And now, I mean, you'd be surprised how easy now to do a business plan. It used to be hard. It used to be when I first started doing it, oh my God, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare when I first started doing my own business plan, right? But down through the years, it's easier now because believe it or not, they have samples out there that's pertaining to the particular business that you're doing. So it's not as hard. The issue is lots of people who don't, again, when you don't understand, you do need that help. When you don't understand what the summary is, if you don't understand what the executive part of your business plan is, if you don't know the target market or the market part of your marketing part of your business plan, you need to be able to explain it. You need someone to explain it to you. Or if you're a good reader and a good comprehension, a person who can comprehend things, you don't need any help. You can actually put it together yourself. Somebody taught me how to make earrings. Now I can make them with my eyes closed. Somebody taught me how to do that, right? Somebody taught me how to make bracelets and necklaces. So I had to be taught to do it. Now I can do it. I know I can, because see, it's your own design. Again, it's your own design. So once you put your design on it, it doesn't matter what, right? There used to be a lady who, when I was working at the VA, she would come all the way from Shreveport, and she had some beautiful pieces, and she knew, y'all. I'm telling you, literally, I think I can't even tell you how much money I spent with that lady, right? Buying her jewelry. One reason why I did it was because she was a Black entrepreneur, and I love supporting our people. And every time she would show up, because at the time they don't do it anymore, they used to let vendors come in and set up in the auditorium area downstairs right at the cafeteria at the VA. All of that, they stopped all of that. And I made sure every time she came, I brought something from her. So now this is years later. Some of my pieces are, they're starting to come apart. So what I do is I use them on other pieces of my jewelry. I didn't throw them away because these were real stones. I didn't throw them away. I just used them in my jewelry. I just recycled them and use them in my necklaces. I use them in my bracelets and in my earrings. But yeah, there was a time where they had vendors markets that they would actually let people come in and set up their stuff. And this lady would come all the way from Shreveport, and I would make sure I bought some of her jewelry every time she came. That's supporting. There was another lady who had some African products, and I would support her too. I support my friends. One of my friends used to make cakes. I don't think she does it anymore. Um, I support her. I'm just saying, I don't mind supporting people because I know what it is when you don't have that support, when no one buys your product, or when I know what that feels like. And it's not anything to feel bad about, you guys. It happens. It happens. Because what you might have, your product or service, might not be what everybody else wants. And you gotta understand that. Now sometimes, well, they don't buy my product. That happens. And then sometimes you might need to look at your market, your target market, right? And change it. Pivot a little bit of who you want to target to buy your product. You know, a market survey is very, very important to do. If you're not sure who your audience is, I mean your marketing audience is, who you want to target, maybe you need to do some marketing surveys. Or you can hire a company to do it for you, which costs money. And if you don't have that kind of money, it's best to do your own surveys. right? Um, and so that's why it's good to, just kind of find out if you want to. We got 2026 coming in. Everything really, to be honest with you, everything is up in the air right now. In society in itself, it's up in the air, right? So I think it's a good thing to have a side hustle. I really do. I think it's a good thing. I encourage anybody who has a side hustle to continue do that side hustle if you have one. Do not be afraid to do a side hustle. Okay? Do not be afraid. So those are the things that I can. I again, I didn't mean to talk about business, but I wanted to put that out there, you guys, because I really think that should be something, an ongoing conversation. Because of the way things are going, I think it should be an ongoing conversation. I think it should be a conversation everybody's having, really, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to African Americans. We definitely need to be having this conversation about creating businesses that are going to be sustainable for us when it comes to helping each other out. Um, I know everybody doesn't have a lot of money, right? But we buy what we want to buy. That's how I look at it. We buy what we want to buy. We'll figure out a way if we are down to our last. If it's something we want, we'll figure out a way to pay for it. We always do. And I'm not knocking it, but sometimes we have to think about that. So, in order to support somebody in something that they're doing, um, sometimes you have to think about that, whether it's a good sacrifice or not. You never know. And I'm not saying you support them all the time. Every time they do something, you support them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just every now and then support a black business if you can. Yeah. And then tell somebody else. You don't always have to support them by buying from them all the time. You support them by telling somebody else about that business. We used to do it. We used to have a segment on our radio show, the can't clip my I mean I'm sorry, the Can We Be Frank show when it first started out, where we listed every black business that was in town. I found the notebook, oh Lord, about a month or two ago, with all the listing that I would write all the business names in it because we would encourage people to tell us your business name and we'll shout it out for you. So we would have a list of businesses, like 3 or 4 pages full of businesses, black businesses, and shout them out. What, by the way, can I support them? I can't. I can't. I don't have the money to buy from every one of those businesses and use all those services, but I can shout them out, and I did that for free. They weren't sponsoring us or anything like that. I shouted out for free. But do you guys know how much it costs to do a 20-second, no, a 30-second, a 15-second commercial on radio? I do. Because I used to do commercials. I used to do the voiceovers on commercials on live radio. It's not cheap. And we didn't do shout outs on there. We literally had to do commercials. So I'm just saying that being able to shout out is a good thing. So people know your business. And then if I didn't hear my business, go back and listen. Your business was on the list. It's a long list I used to do. Me and Tavares used to do that. Shout out the names of the businesses, local businesses that were owned by only black owned business people. That's support. That is a great support because we had a large following and a listening audience. We had, and people would come back and tell us or let us know that they went and patronized or use that service. I'm just saying. It's the simple things. It's nothing big and fantastical. It's the simple things that you can do to support each other. Word of mouth is the greatest thing almost to me. Telling somebody else about it, showing somebody the product you bought. Uh, I'm just saying, there's many, many ways that we can help people move forward if that's what they want to do. If they want to start a business, then the way we can support them. We can support them in the ways that we can. And it's not no competition in trying to support nobody. It's just do what you can do. Because I do understand the financial and the economic climate we're in right now. I do understand that. I know a lot of people are not going to do a lot of Christmas shopping. I know a lot of people are not going to be doing a lot of going out and all that because things have changed so much, right? The dynamics of how we used to do things have changed. I think this furlough really woke people up. I think all of the layoffs that we've had in these jobs have really woken people up. You never get too comfortable in a job. It's good to be grateful for a job, believe me, but never get too comfortable in it. Okay? Because it can be taken away from you. That's why it's good to do something on the side. So, just in case you have to supplement some things when it comes to your job, you'll be able to supplement it without a problem because you've already had that side hustle going. I mean, do you understand that? So if you've already had an established side hustle going, keep that side hustle because that might be your number one breadwinner. Once you get into it and you've been doing it for a while and you got customers or whatever, then that what was so we needed a house painted for let me give you a good example of why it's so important to have a side hustle or even have a business, your own business. We needed someone to paint one of our a house, right? And just so happened I had them do some work on the same house earlier down through the years, right? It was just small work, wasn't nothing serious. And I asked them because I looked for black owned painters. I looked for black owned businesses that were painters, right? I couldn't find them. I had one person said they were gonna go by, look at the house and everything, and then never called me back, never contacted me. And they were black owned. So we wound up having to get somebody to paint the house because we couldn't find a black owned business to come in and do the painting. That's why I said, when I'm saying to you, I want to support you, we would have, you would have got paid. Because what they got paid, it wasn't no little penance to paint that house. I'm saying this to let you know that could have been money in a black business because that's what we try to support, black businesses. When it comes to yard work, when it comes to you, it's like, and I've had this from other people saying the same thing. How can you say you're a business and you want to work with people and people are looking for you, and when they find you, they you don't even want to do the work? So be careful with what you choose to do because you'd be surprised at people who need a problem solved. So this person wanted, not only did he paint one house, he painted another house. He painted my sister-in-law's house. So he wound up with two jobs and got paid for both of those jobs. Real nice money. But he was this color. So when we say, even like a electrician, when you need that, we go for us first. Plumbers, we go for us first. That's what we do in my home. We do. We go look for us first before we go the other route because we want to support you. So if we're starting out with that issue with you have an opportunity to have a project to get done and get paid for the project, get paid for the project, and you're not even available, or you don't return phone calls, or that's not a business. You don't want to do business. But the common courtesy is to call that person back and say, "Hey, I decided that I'm going to skip this project. Um, Thank you for offering it to me," or whatever. Don't get none of that. Nobody calls back. Nobody says anything. That's not how you do business. That's not how you do business. So there's a lot of things that we can definitely talk about when it comes to starting a business and how to continue working things out to make sure if it's somebody that you don't want to work with, it's your business. You can tell them you don't want to work with them. You have that courtesy. But the thing is, you want to do it in a nice way. And just in case, maybe one day later down the line, that you might want to work with that person if they have another project for you to do. You might want to work with them on the next. Maybe something was going on at the time. And I could take that into consideration. But the common courtesy is, hello, I would like to, yes, this is me. I wanted to let you know the reason why I didn't want to work on your project was because I had my hands full. I had other projects. And at that time, I could not get it in, even though I wanted to. Well, thank you. And bye. That's common courtesy. Simple. Simple conversation. Simple email. But we seem to not do that. And then you wonder why you're sitting twiddling your fingers, no projects coming down the pipe. You got to you got to learn how to do it. You got to be able to do it. We need a lot of handymen. We need a lot of handymen around our areas. But you got to be willing to pay them. That's another thing. Sometimes people say the reason why they don't do services with certain people is because they don't want to pay them. Well, you got to be able to. You don't expect nobody to do anything for free. You can't. You got to pay for the person's labor, just like you want somebody to pay for your labor and your time. We go to a job every day and they pay you for what? For what you do. So why can't you do that to somebody else? What is the issue with you doing that for somebody else? When you need their service. Your boss needs you to work. So you come in every day, whether you punch the clock, whatever you do, and at the end of the 2 weeks you get paid, right? Same thing. Same thing. You know? Same thing. It's just the idea you're working on your own. So you're working on your own time, you're setting up your own hours, you're setting up your own rates and fees. You can do that. People either going to say, yes, I need you, or no, I can't afford it. Move on to the next. But nothing's free. No. And nobody shouldn't have a business where they're giving away free stuff all the time, constantly, because that's my problem. You shouldn't be in the mindset of giving away all the time. Hold some of that back. People have to pay. People need to pay for your services and your products. And I was told that I did a class, and I was told that stop always giving away samples. Limit your sample giving to a certain amount of customers, because what you're starting to do is you're giving away your product all the time. And then the back end is that you're paying for all the ingredients, or you're paying for all the work goes into creating that product, right? And then you're turning around giving it for free. So you're not getting a return on your investment when you just constantly always giving away all your product. Limit yourself to giving away products to a certain amount of people, to a certain amount of actually guaranteed customers, because they like your product, they're gonna keep coming back. If they don't, they're not. They're just not going to buy it. And you have to live with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so just keep it in mind that when I say what I'm saying is because I love supporting us, our people. I really do. I love going into restaurants that I see people look like me. We don't know how to do that. We really don't. We don't know how to direct our goods and services to us. And you'd be surprised. We would buy if you knew what kind of market to be in to do it. People, we buy. You just got to be in the right market to do it. You got to be in the right place too, and the time. But we will buy. We will definitely buy, especially if it fits our budget. Sometimes people put prices on things and they want you to pay for their house note, their car notes, their insurances, and everything. That's not how it works. That's not how it works because somebody's gonna beat you out if you got competition. And I can go over here and buy this for a certain amount, and you don't know how to market it to where you're telling them, hey, it's worth this. They can go over there and get a cheaper version of what you're offering. It's all about how knowing how to price and maneuver your way in a market. That's all. But I do believe this is the time. This is the time that in 2026 you need, if you've never done a side hustle, in 2026 you need to be looking at how to start a side hustle. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm not just saying that because we're coming up. I just see the way things are flowing. Jobs are not like they used to be. They are not a guarantee. They are not a 401k pathway. When I say 401k, I'm talking about people who retired. They're not there anymore. And we have to be prepared for that. Yep. If you do have a full-time job, you can work your side hustle part-time. If you don't work on a weekend, say you work 5 days a week, and on the weekends, you can do your side hustle. I did it. I worked a full-time job and still had a side hustle. One, two, three. I had about 3 different side hustles I was doing. Yeah, about three of them. And had a full-time job. A lot of my customers were actually some of my employees and coworkers. Matter of fact, one of my side hustles was like when I lived in Tennessee, I worked in the prison system. And this is why I tell you guys I support black businesses. One of the very reasons why. I had a friend of mine and his parents owned a flea market. It was a black owned flea market. And to get me started, they would give me items. And I would sell these items out the back of my van. That was my side hustle. That was my second set of side hustles that I did. And they would sell. They would give me African prints, like print pictures. Remember the feathers, all the different color feathers and all the different type of weaved type items. Back in the day we used to, those are the type of items, vases, beautiful vases and stuff. That's what I was selling out the back of my van. When we would get off in the mornings, I worked a 10 to 6 shift. When we got off in the morning, Swaffer, what you got? Come out here and see. Right in the parking lot of the prison, I was selling my items out the back of my van. I was very grateful for them giving me those things. They didn't ask because I told them, I said, you want me to pay you for them? Do you? No. Just do it. And they gave them to me, and I did it. This is why I am grateful for all the stuff. I'm almost feeling like, really, like it brought back some serious memories. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. They owned a whole big, huge flea market. And that's what they would do. And these were some nice stuff. These wasn't no old raggedy stuff. These were stuff that he was getting shipped in for his flea market that I was getting straight out the bag. Straight out boxes. I was blessed to have a lot of wonderful people in my life to show me the way to do a lot of things. So I can say I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't be able to talk about the things I've done because I had the right people that directed me. And I wasn't too, like, I knew everything. I listened. I learned because it was interesting to me. And I sit in circles of stuff that people would probably be bored to death to listen to. But because of my fascination to learn, I wanted to learn something. And I did. And so it's easy for me to talk about this. But it's also a soft spot in my heart because somebody just wanted to take a chance on me. And they did. And I have not looked back. And let me tell you something. I don't mind telling people, I am by far not no rich woman at all. I will. I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, that's why I own this mansion over here, and we've got all these beautiful cars and all. No, no, that's not how it works for everybody. Everybody wants and needs are different. Everybody wants and I am not into showing off and all. I'm not into all that. I don't have to impress nobody. Okay? I don't have to impress nobody. You either like me for who I am or you don't. And it doesn't even matter either way. But I have so many precious moments. I have so many learning moments in my life by all the people who have been in my life, who've taught me something, who've showed me something, who were willing to take time out and teach me something. I want to know how to do this. Can you teach me how to do that? The very way I started in terrestrial radio, and I don't know if y'all have heard the story from me before, was I was voice-overing for my church at the time. And I would go in and I would do the commercial for the church. Well, one day I was fascinated by the young lady who was in there and how she was moving the numbers and moving the buttons and playing with this big old board. And because she had to help me with the recording, she had to do that part for me because I didn't know anything about a board, right? And I just said to her one day, I said, if I come up here, will you show me how to run the board? Would you show me how to do all this? And she looked at me like, yeah. So she literally, every time I would come up there, I would volunteer my days because it was something I wanted. And I would learn that board. I wound up working for them on the weekend. I was the backup for the backup on the weekend for shows that came on live. When the people came in, the talk show hosts would come into the radio station. I would literally produce their shows because it was something I wanted to do. I was determined. And let me tell you something. It was hard for me because I'm a quirky, nerdy person. So learning stuff and being coordinated with it all the time, I am way off. So I made a lot of mistakes, but not one time did she get frustrated and mad at me. Because some people are like, oh, I can't teach you nothing. Well, this whole thing was new to me. I knew how to do digital online radio. I just didn't know how to do it really, literally being in a radio station. But I learned. I stayed. I kept coming back. I kept coming back. Kept coming back until I learned that board. Because I said, I'm going to. This is not going to beat me. Because you got to be timed. Everything is timed. And I had to learn that. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you want to do something, and nobody can stop you. I volunteered and I wound up having 3 or 4 shows on that radio station. Then one of my shows got simulcast, which means syndicated. I said simulcast, I mean syndicated. That means they picked up my show and put it somewhere else and was playing it somewhere else. We wound up in Baton Rouge in a company, in a radio station down in Baton Rouge. After 8 months being on the air, we got syndicated. That's what syndicated means. Syndicated means that you have your shows are on several different stations. So our show, Lily Author Showcase, literally was syndicated in 8 months. That is not a good. I mean, that is not a easy thing to do. Is to get your show syndicated right off the bat. Sometimes it takes a long time for anybody to want to pick up on your show. But we got it done in 8 months. I have witnesses. Matter of fact, Tavares is a witness, and KAYT is a witness because that's where we were at when we did the Lily Author Showcase. And it was a show that was in the back of my head, and I put it on paper. And I talked to Jackie, and I said, I want to do this show. And then I talked to Tanya, and we did it. And it was a success. We actually did it. We pulled it off. And I talked to and I interviewed, and my majority of all of my authors were African American authors. The reason why I called it Lily Author Showcase, because that's what we were doing. We were showcasing authors from all over the place, not just here in Louisiana, all over the world. Matter of fact, Rosalind Cabell, I'll never forget her. She was in Saudi when I interviewed her on her book. She was stationed in Saudi at the time. She's military. The bestseller author, I can't remember her name. I'm looking at her book right now. I interviewed her. I interviewed so many people within the time that that show was on air. And we had a ball. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because when you believe in yourself and you want to do something, it can happen. That's why I'm saying that. And I'm so grateful with the people that I met. A lot of the people that are my friends on my Facebook page are authors that I interviewed. And you guys, that show was not free. I had to pay for that show every month. And it wasn't no little bitty money either. It wasn't $50. Okay, I promise you it wasn't $50 to have that show. You have to pay. They had a service. I had an idea. I had to pay for that service in order to put my ideal out there. And KYT is a Black-owned radio station. So I didn't mind supporting a Black-owned radio station. This is why I'm saying what I say. And this is why I believe the way I believe. And this is why I'm like I am. I truly believe in my people, no matter how bad we can sometimes come off. I truly believe in my people. And I don't mind supporting them. And I don't mind talking about them. Because it is so important that we are able to, we give our money to everybody else. We will drop 100 on something that's sitting in a white man's store in a heartbeat. But when a black person have that same product, we sitting around fiddle faddling and see if we want to use it and see if we need it and see we'll do that to us in a heartbeat. But we don't mind dropping $200 and $300 in their stores. This is what bothers me about us or on the service that they have. Unless, and I told you why we did it, because we couldn't find nobody to do the work we needed to get done. I'm telling you, me and my husband, we have these conversations. We will definitely go look for one of us first before we think about anybody else, because that's how we are. But if you're not there, if you're not available, if you're not doing this, and if you're not doing that, then you have to go with whoever you have to. But to just drop my money in those stores like that, I ain't doing it. I don't do it. I can hold on. Or else, you know me, I'll find a way to do it myself. If I can't, I know one thing I can't do. I can't do no handyman work. That's my husband's job. He can do all that stuff. He was raised that way. His dad taught him all that. His dad taught him how to build houses. Okay. He knows how to do all that. That's not my cup of tea. Okay. Now I could sit down and put together something, the administrative part. I can do that if you needed to do that. I can do that part. But the building and all that, I don't do that. That's what he does. I know what I know how to do. Now, if he wants to teach me, matter of fact, when we work on one of the houses, he taught me some things I didn't even know how to do, but now I know how to do them because he did teach me. But it wouldn't be nothing I could put no price tag on and say, hey, I can do this for you. No, it's not one of those things for me. I learned because it was a necessity for me to learn certain things. But I know what I'm good at. And if you know what you're good at, then that's where you're going to stick. That's the lane you're going to stay in. I know I'm not going to get on top of no house and put no roof on. I know he knows how to do that, but I don't know how to do that. And it's not something I want to do. So if you have something you love doing, do it. Do it. But turn it into, if you want to turn it into a profit, do it. Take your hobby and turn it into a profit if you need to. But learn all the ropes. Miss Hall, I see that you say you have a small t-shirt business. Awesome. Awesome. Let us know about it. What's the name of it? How can I get to it? I love t-shirts. I love graphic t-shirts. I think I told you guys that long time ago. I love shirts with stuff on it. I have a whole, if you understood, I have a whole, if I'm not dressed up, I have a t-shirt on. I love wearing t-shirts. So if you tell us a little bit about your business, let me know where I can get your t-shirts from. I'll support you. I don't have a problem with that. Let me tell you something. One of the other things I did was called Queen Organizers Courier Service. Well, we got our van and we were going to help people deliver different things, right? If you need it, we did bathtub. We delivered somebody. It was so cute. We delivered bathtubs, exercise equipment. We did all that, right? And I needed some shirts made. Matter of fact, my husband got one of the shirts on right now. I needed shirts made. It was called Queen Organizers LLC on the shirt and it had a little thing. I designed everything on it, but I had to get them made, right? I wind up going to somebody this color to have them made. I didn't have to do that if I would have known about Miss Hall's t-shirt business, right? We would have had them made from them. The guy did a great job, but it was ideal. I shouldn't have had to do that. I should have been able to find one of us that had a good price for us to do business with. I'm just saying we got to make ourselves available too. You know, if you're a business that's a word of mouth and I've heard about you before, then that's a different story. But if you're a business and I've never heard about you, I can't patronize you if I don't know you, that you exist. And a lot of people want to keep it on a low low. Okay, then don't. I mean, if you have a set of customers that you're happy with and they buy over, they work for you and you don't want any new customers, then keep it to yourself, because you're not going to get any new customers unless you get out there and talk about it. I was telling Miss Dixon earlier on one of my posts, I said, dog, I got a degree in business administration. One of the things in business administration is marketing. I said, I'm terrible in marketing myself. I can market everybody else, but I am terrible in marketing myself. I can admit that. I'm not good at marketing myself. I can come up with some great ideas to do everybody else's campaigns and stuff. But when it comes to mine, it's like, damn, what is my problem? Am I the right person? Am I doing this right? So I'm always, you guys, if you go on my pages, you'll see I have these little ladies come on and do it all. But it's, you look, it's touch and go, but you got to try something. And I have talked to business owners, small business owners. No, I don't want to tell everybody I'm doing this. I don't want to. Okay, then you must don't want no customers if you don't want everybody to know you got a business. I don't understand. You don't want nobody to know that you got a business? But how do you expect for somebody to buy it? You got to be able to be that sounding board for your business, or else, whether it's small, whether it's big, you have to be the sounding board. You have to be what they call the brand. You got to play that role. You got to be right in it. And sometimes I know it's hard. I promise you guys, I know it's hard. It's hard, especially when you're not an outspoken person. But get somebody who will promote your business. I know business cards. I don't know if people still do business cards. Business card. I just threw away a stack of business cards, and majority of them were African American businesses that I had been through. This big. Well, I don't know if they're open no more because that was years ago. But that's because I collected business cards, and I would actually interact with some of these people after I bought a product from them. When I go to expos, when they have the Black Business Expos, and I collect and I buy. And you got to get out your circle. You got to get around. You got to see what other people are doing. Okay? You got to see what other products are out there like yours. You got to see what other services are out there. You'd be surprised how innovative we are with simple products. You'd be surprised. Everybody's not doing the same thing, no matter if it's a fad or whatever. Everybody's not doing the same thing. People are brilliant. We are a brilliant people. Our minds are brilliant. And that's why it's so important that we support each other. I mean, that's really what it is. That's the reason why we should be supporting each other. And like I said before, um, be grateful for what you have. Miss Hall, I asked a question earlier. I asked the question, what are you grateful for and why? If you want to answer that, Mr. Augustine, um, I asked the question, what are you grateful for and why? And anybody else who hears me, what are you grateful for and why are you grateful? If you want to get in the chat, guys, I know I'm over here on Talk Shop Live. I'm not over on my pages. I'm over here. So if you want to come over here to our Talk Shop Live and put it in the chat so I can see, what are you grateful for? And I'll probably ask it again on my Facebook pages too. And why? Why are you grateful? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on this long diatribe, but I have to be the example. If I have the examples, I'm going to talk about them. I have the examples. I am an example. I'm a walking example. So I can talk about what I'm saying. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you what actually took place in my life that helped me with my mindset about business. But again, I've always wanted to own my own business. And I didn't realize that having that mindset, how it would spread out to several different activities. Because you do understand you can have more than one business at one time. Do you know most of the people, they say on average you should have 7 streams of income coming in. Let me say that again. On average, you should have at least 7 streams of income coming in. 7 streams of income. Think about that. And some people are like, I can't do that. You'd be surprised what you can do. Because some of that income, that some of your product or service could be something that's automated, that just automatic. It pays for itself. It does whatever it needs to do, and you don't have to touch it. You just check it. Look, you just check your bank account. It's there. Okay, I see it. Look, yeah, that one got sold. You don't have to do it. It's called drop shipping. It's a drop shipping business. Automation. So it's all kinds of businesses out there that you don't have to touch it. You set it up and leave it alone. Let it work itself. That's where we're at in this age. So there's no excuse for somebody to say that they can't do something. There's no excuse to say you can't do nothing. You can do whatever you want. You don't even have to put your face on anything. You don't even have to put your name on it. You can put it in a whole different name. Nobody even have to know you're the person behind the product. That's the crazy part about it. Hey, pumpkin. Yes, wonderful, 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 wonderful. See, do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to you don't put your face on it. And people will buy your product and you'll get paid for it. So I'm just saying, this year, 2026, think about, okay, so Miss Hall says she has a small t-shirt business. So Miss Hall, I'm going to suggest that you think about expanding your business. Depend on how long you've had that small t-shirt business and how well it's doing for you, to probably kind of raise the stakes a little bit in 2026. Not off the bat if you can, but kind of raise the stakes a little bit. Because I know t-shirt businesses are hot right now. I know they're hot right now. People they love shirts. They love things to match their outfits. They love cute things. They love that, right? So they're going to spend the money on it. And t-shirts is a very good, lucrative business if you do the right thing, or you have that product or service that supplies them. Say there's a group that needs t-shirts. They get in contact with Miss Hall. Guess what happens? Miss Hall got her a good contract, and she's supplying them with t-shirts. And say she do it the first year, and they got another big convention or big program they got to do. They need more. They're going to keep coming back to who? Miss Hall, because they love the way Miss Hall took care of things. She took care of business. She got everything, got our shirts out the way that we asked for. No problems. Things were delivered. They're going to keep coming back to Miss Hall. And then what they're going to do is they're going to tell other organizations, y'all, if you want your t-shirts done at a good price, good solid work, get a hold to Miss Hall. That's what you want to do. If you have not scaled up your business right now, Miss Hall, in 2026, put that on your plan to scale it up a little bit. Look at what's hot, what's trending, what's making the money in the t-shirt industry. It's not just only t-shirts. You got hats, you got mugs, you got all kinds of stuff that you can do. Don't limit yourself. When you get into a business or a industry, don't limit yourself. If you have the ideal to push it up a notch, don't limit yourself to, oh, I only know how to do this. No, take it to a whole nother level. Don't be afraid. Failure is a lesson. It's not the end of the world. It is a lesson. If that product don't work, okay, let's try this product. If that product don't work, try another one. Don't give up. But also look at the oversaturated market in products and services. Look at that as well as you're looking at the trending or the ones that's making the money. Look at everything. Break it all the way down. What is a hot selling item in the t-shirt industry? Your target market. Who is your target market in that industry? And that's who you target. Do not limit yourself. If you're a creative person and you have a lot of ideals, don't limit yourself. Try them all. Who are you going to hurt if you try them all? Nobody. So in 2026, try to start looking at things differently. 2025 was rough for everybody. I really do. I believe it was rough for everybody on the mental and the emotional level. But we do have years to come. 26 is coming. It's right. It's knocking at the door. We haven't opened it yet, but it's knocking. Come in it with a bang. Come in it with a bang. But don't sell yourself short at the same time. Okay? Don't sell yourself short. But be you. And if you're a brand person, be that brand. Right? Okay. What time is it? Okay. So now let's move on because we still have to do our journal prompts. We have to get those in too. Now, next thing I want to talk about is skincare. How many of you guys have been actually having a skincare ritual? With I know, yeah, I don't know anybody else live, but here, we've been having summer days. Yesterday, it was 80 degrees out. Let me say that again. So my skincare regimen can't change right now. It was 80 degrees out yesterday. So I have to continue using my moisturizer, my facial cleanser, and my moisturizer because I can't add anything else. I mean, I'm sorry, my hydrating cream, my cleanser, okay, and my hydrating facial clean. I can't add anything else on it because the weather hasn't changed yet. You know how they say in wintertime, you add use a little bit more of a heavier moisturizer because you don't want the dry skin. Well, it don't matter because I can't change anything because the weather hasn't changed. It was 80 degrees yesterday in the middle of November. Let me tell you how cold it would be right now, and if I was up north. It would be cold. I would be having on a fur jacket and boots probably. Okay? But I'm here. So I only can use this right now. Now I probably need to see if I can get a heavier cream because this has the hyaluronic acid in it. But I might need to get a heavier cream or mix a heavier cream with this, right? When it gets cold for us. But it's not cold for us, so I don't know. So anybody who's bought this product, understand the only reason why it's not heavy is because it's still warm down here. It's still warm. I'm still dealing with the warm weather. But yeah, but if we needed to get it like a heavier, because one thing about hyaluronic acid, in cream form, it's loose. It's like watery, but it's not really. I mean, that's just what the hyaluronic acid is. It's like a watery type um cream, right? So it's loose. So if anything, oh yeah, what? Oh my God! See, so when I told you about the winter regimen you use or your winter skincare ritual, you can't use it here right now. You can't because the weather is not hot enough. I mean, cold enough for us to have heavier. Because it's one of the things is have a heavier moisturizer. Well, we can't do that right now because it's not cold. Um, but definitely, Your cleanser is good. I mean, just use your cleanser, and then probably when it does get cold, you know you got to add more into this, right? So again, if you guys wanted any, if you want to order one of these, definitely look on the website. You can't clip my wings, is on there, and it's also here on the Talk Shop Live. You can order it from here too. You guys, if you order anything, let me know you ordered it so I can watch the process. Okay, so I can pay attention to the process. Okay, I'm very very particular about if I'm not live, like if I'm not person to person selling you something and I'm doing it through the internet, I need to make sure everything is working well. Okay. So definitely let me know if you ordered anything. I'm definitely going to probably go down on this too. So I might need to go back on my website and mess with some prices. Um, and so the guys can enjoy what we have. Okay. Um, Definitely. So that's one thing I definitely wanted to share with you guys. If you live in these climate areas like we're in, the hot is 80 degrees in the middle of winter time. One of the things I would say, stay with your regiment for right now until it starts getting cold. Now that's funny for Georgia because actually Georgia gets cold because it's sitting on the East Coast. So that's kind of strange that they had 80 degrees yesterday when that's usually it's cold in Georgia. Georgia don't play either. Um, yeah, Georgia weather don't play either. That's weird that they're cold, that they're 80 degrees when it gets cold in Georgia. Just like if you go certain parts in Texas, if you go up to if you go up close to Oklahoma, it's cold. Because when I was in Texas 2, 3 years ago, it snowed. Matter of fact, it had an ice storm while I was there, and that was because I was in the Frisco area, and it was cold up there. It was cold. Getting up every morning, it was cold. Um, yeah, and I had to get up real early too, because where I was working at, it was cold. So you couldn't play with that. Wasn't no 80 degrees weather there. So yeah, so it's certain parts that's really strange that Georgia had 80 degrees in November. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of strange. But anyway, but yes, so for right now, if you live in Georgia or anywhere like this, I would keep my facial cream the same. If you have, like, if you use a lighter facial cream until it gets colder, then I would add some more or get a heavier cream to use on your face as far as moisturizer goes. Your cleanser, it doesn't, because you're not going to keep your cleanser on. You're going to be, taking it off, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. Um, so that's that. With Since we're stuck right now, um, with that. Now I wanted to talk about some of the ebooks. If you go on my website, I don't have them on the shop here, right? But if you go on our You Can't Clip My Wings, and I put the link in the description. If you go on there, you'll see the books that we have on there. I just added my 2 books. I told you guys I just did. Let's see, see y'all. When I'm not, hold up. See, when I'm not talking or doing the show, I'm working. Okay, I'm working, right? So I created this book right here. Okay, this is an ebook. Okay, and that's not that. Okay, this is the back part of it. That's one of the pages in there. This is the back part. Okay, this is the back. I'm sorry. So this ebook is the Melanated Woman's Playbook for Time Management and Leadership. So I created this one, right? Um, if you was to purchase this digital, it's $6.99 on the website. Okay, $6.99 on the website. Both of these I think are $6.99. So this one also. This is Empowering women's lives, stress-free living, empowering women to thrive in a chaotic world. Okay, that's our new. These are our new ebooks that we have on the website. You go check it out for yourself. In stress-free living, empowering women to thrive in a chaotic world, discover transformative strategies that enable women to embrace their unique strengths and cultivate resilience amidst life's turmoil. Through mindfulness, positive affirmations, and proactive care, this empowering guide fosters a sanctuary of positivity, encouraging women to and reclaim their power and navigate challenges with confidence. Join a supportive community that inspires personal growth and celebrates the journey towards self-acceptance and emotional well-being. So that's very good. The one on the back of um, this one says the Melanated Women's Playbook for Time Management and Leadership empowers melanated women to excel in their fields through effective time management, goal alignment, and self care practices. By fostering community support and mentorship, this guide helps women navigate the challenges of leadership while prioritizing their well being. Embrace your unique strengths and create actionable goals that not only reflect your aspirations, but also uplift those around you. So that's this book, right? So far, so we have two new ebooks on there. Um, if you also go on there, we have one called Path to Greatness, Strategies for Women to Make a Mark in This World. We have, let me see what the other one I have in here. Let's see, I think this is the only one I actually, yeah, this is the only one I have in it. And I actually went over this whole book on one of my shows. So somebody got a free, what's the name of this book? Because I did it, the whole book on the show. I also was offering, I don't know if you guys remember, I was offering the 5 Steps to Clarity Guided Journal for Self-Discovery. This is a free item. It's not, you don't have to buy it. You just let me know you want one and I'll email it to you. Okay. Oh my God, I have the Setback to Success on there too. There's several books on there, ebooks that I've created for you guys. So you have plenty to choose from. You don't have to get them all at one time, but it is an offer you guys have. Now, and I wanted to just let you guys know that because one of these books, out of these 2 books, when you're part of our webinar, you will be getting one of these books, one of them. I don't know which one I'll be giving away, but you'll be getting one of them. Once you complete the webinar, I will be emailing you this book. So, can't wait for the webinar. And like I said, if you're not on our list for this time, I definitely will be doing another webinar next month in January. We're doing one for December, then we got one for January the 1st. I'm trying to do them first Mondays of every month. And again, I want to have them intimate, so we're going to have a small group of people. I'm looking forward to you guys going through the webinar with me and enjoying the treat that comes with it. And then next year, if we're all here, I hate to say it like that because the way things going, I don't know. But next year, I'm going to be doing a virtual retreat. Okay. Um, I'm letting you know now, so you will definitely be. I got my email list of people I want to invite to the retreat. Okay. This one's going to be a little different. I haven't set it up yet, but I am working on it. Okay. I told you guys I believe in the African American woman more than I believe in any other woman on this planet. And if I can do whatever I can to support them, I am going to do it. All right. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to probably if everything works out, I want to have that moving by spring. So we're talking April, probably, because it takes a lot to put that together. That's not an easy thing to do. Definitely going to be wanting to make sure I can get that out. So I am going to go ahead. Thank you guys for commenting and giving your information. We have 15 people in the room and I only got answers from 3 people. That's crazy. But definitely, that's all right. I'm glad you guys came and stopped by. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want you to go ahead. Oh, can't let y'all go because we gotta do our journal prompts and we haven't done them yet. So our journal prompts will be pertaining to, guess what, gratitude, because we did it the last time, but we're going to do it again. So the first one, which I've been running off at the mouth and not putting my journal here, and now I'm terrible. Please not beat me up for that. And this one is going to be about gratitude. Again, you guys, there's journals on our website, in our shop ritual. If you want a digital journal that you can print out, you can purchase one of our journals over there on our website, and you can't clip my wings. I think I got 4 or 5 of them over there that you can use. They're all blank page journals so that you can do what you want with them. And I think I got to work and see on the price. I have to check out the price again because I might have to lower the price on some stuff. Okay. So the first question is, what makes you smile today? What made you smile today? Okay. Number 2 is, what is one thing you love about yourself? I love this one. Okay. Number 3 is, who are you grateful? Who are you grateful for, and what do you love about them? That's a good one. Number 4 is, what makes you laugh today? What made you laugh today? No, I can't spell. Look, I can't even spell. And the last question for your journal prompt under gratitude is, what difference today than a year ago that you're grateful for? What is different? That's what it's saying. Okay. Let me see what it says again here. So it says, what is different today than a year ago? A year ago that you're grateful for. Do y'all understand that? Okay. Than a year ago that you are grateful for. So I guess it's basically saying that what happened a year ago around this time that makes you grateful, that's different from a year ago? I guess let me say that again. What is different today than a year ago that you're grateful for? There we go. I was reading it wrong. Okay. So those are your 5 journal prompt questions that you can use to answer. Um, Look, what I'm going to do is, I told you guys I was going to share some journal prompts with you guys. I'm going to do that with one journal I'm personally doing for myself. So I'm going to do that. What's the first 3? Can you please repeat that part? Sure. The first 3 is the first number 1 is what made you smile today? What made you smile today? Number 2 is what is one thing you love about yourself? I put thing, but it's supposed to be one thing. What is one thing you love about yourself? Number 3 is who are you grateful for and what do you love about them? Who are you grateful for and what do you love about them? Number 4 is what made you laugh today? What made you laugh today? I spelled that wrong. Please forgive me. And number 5 is what is different today than a year ago that you're grateful for? What is different today than a year ago that you're grateful for? Let me see. Last year in 2024, around November 23rd. I don't know. Look, y'all, I can't even remember yesterday, much less a year ago. So I have to really go back. Look, the way you go back, I can go back on my Facebook page and look at some stuff that was going on. That probably jogged my memory of what happened back in 2024, I guess. I don't know. But yes, that's the questions. That's our 5 questions for today. Oh, I want to share something else with you guys. Thank you, Miss Dixon. I found my other pledge. I gave you one from the In Search of You book. I have another pledge. Let me think. Yeah. Okay. Remember, you guys, I told you I had the series called Handling Your Business. Well, this book was the very first book I wrote from the Handling Your Business series. And it's old, How Does Your Garden Grow? So what I did with this book was, and I explained this book too, I took what we do as far as a garden goes, right? And I used the metaphorical garden as us going through life and the journey. So I talked about the tools, I talked about the seeds, I talked about the stumbling blocks, and I talked about the different gardeners, right? So you have your tools. Your tools are faith, self-esteem, confidence, and perseverance. And then you have your seeds, true to yourself, positivity, trust, empowerment, and knowledge. And then you have your stumbling blocks, low self-esteem, shortcomings, friends and family, men, because this was pertaining to a woman. So men and you can be your own stumbling block. Okay. Then I talked about the different gardeners. So let's see what we said about the gardeners. Where'd that picture come from? Okay. So when we talk about the gardeners, we have what we call a needy gardener, a messy gardener, a lazy gardener, and a doormat gardener, right? And I asked you to choose which one do you fall up under. You want me to tell you which one's which? So a needy gardener is a gardener that may have all her tools, but it's not enough. She needs more of everything. She will sap all your energy as she used precious time trying to shake her loose, as you use precious time trying to shake her loose. She's insecure and full of drama. She carries around a whole lot of old plants and flowers that just take up room. In turn, they become a hindrance to her as she tries to grow a new garden. Now, let's talk about the messy gardener. The messy gardener is the one who loves what you call he say, she say drama. If there is something negative going on, you can best believe she will be in the middle of it because this type of gardener hasn't been taught how to plant any other way. They attract the same type of gardeners, which means they don't care what their gardens produce as long as it's producing something. Most of the time, her weeds and her flowers are always growing over into other gardeners' gardens, which causes problems. This gardener can grow a garden of success if they would just have a different attitude about it. The lazy gardener, this gardener expects everything to be given to her from tools and soil to the seeds because she doesn't want to work for anything. She expects everyone else to do her work for her. She's very selfish, doesn't believe in sharing, and if by chance she does any type of work, she is devastated. But she expects a garden of success to be handed to her. Now we're at our last type of gardener. This gardener has a lot of work with her, with has a lot to work with. They have potential if it just needs to be guided. It just needs to be guided in the right direction. We're talking about the doormat gardener. This gardener will do everyone else's garden. Other gardeners uses her tools and don't return them. She doesn't say anything. They walk over her and her garden. They steal seeds and soil from her all the time. Instead of her taking her tools back, she just buys more. She works hours and hours in others' gardens but becomes stagnant when it comes to her own. Everyone else is passing her by, even though she is well aware of the fact that she's being taken advantage of. We have just discussed four types of gardeners. Which one are you? What can you do to improve your chances of growing the garden you want? So that's the end of the book, and then let's talk the pledge. Oh, we talk about the garden at the end, but we're going to go back to the pledge. Miss Latasha. Let's see what I gave as this pledge. Okay, so do I have two of them? Okay, let me see. I think. Okay, here we go. It says, I, blank, whoever that is, have decided to take on my dreams and live my life to the fullest. I pledge not to allow anybody or anything to deter me from the path of success. I also pledge to use the following tools because this is all about the tools: faith, self esteem, confidence, perseverance, to plant the seeds true to yourself, positivity, trust, empowerment, and knowledge, and to avoid the stumbling blocks such as low self esteem, shortcomings, friends, families, men, and myself. I will no longer accept the fact that I may be one of the four gardeners, knowing that they are not a positive attribute of my better self. I will commit my heart, body, and soul to the total happiness of myself. So, this is one of the very first books I actually wrote in my Handling Your Business series. I actually wrote a yearly planner. I had a journal to go with it. I had a small journal, and then I had a large journal to go with this book. Matter of fact, I might bring them out if I can find them. But this was part of my Handling Your Business series that was dedicated to Black women entrepreneurs or Black women who wanted to have their own small businesses. Yeah. So that was that pledge. You're welcome. So I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me here on Talk Shop Live and over on Universal Collective Network and Fat and Fabulous by Design, and also my YouTube channel, Salita McCall. So you guys have a great evening and thank you again for the time. You guys see you Wednesday. Hopefully nothing happens Wednesday and I'll be back Wednesday. Okay. So you guys have a great evening and bye-bye. I need some outro music. That's what I need. I need me some. I'm so used to doing it over on my other